Hello, my name is Zulaikha, so I'll be presenting my project that is Healthy Working Environment Office Building through Sorted Roof House of Textile Central Hub. The pre-thesis framework, stage 1 with background study with the purpose of building an office tower inside area Shah Alam with the owner of Malaysian Textile Manufacturers Association with the clients traditional textile supply companies catering to traditional textile wholesaler personal buyer. Then I look into literature review and literature gap with the side issue Central Textile Office Business with the social issue 1 availability of office space area reason to build an office tower. And then social issue 2 well-lit and interactive working environment reason to focus on sorted roof for daylight strategies, which link to architecture issue 1 scarce distance and scattered of traditional textile supplying companies at the existing area, and architecture issue 2 demotivated working environment in terms of low internet daylight performance and less interaction of office layout. Then I move on into site study. And a stage 3 with theoretical aspect that links to architecture theory approach and technical theory approach, that link with link theory approach and environmental psychology, and technical theory approach will be leeward sorted roof case and parametric study of solar gains in sorted roof facing the equator. Then I move on to stage 4 will be case studies, and stage 5 design aspect that helps to build my building programs. My aim of the project is to design a healthy working environment in office building through slightly atrium, specifically sorted roof as one of daylight strategies. My research question 1, how do daylight strategies affect healthy working environment for employees, which link to the objective to identify daylight strategies in providing healthy working environment for employees. Number 2, what are the sorted roof configurations that will provide optimum daylight penetration in office building? To determine sorted roof configurations in providing optimum daylight penetration in an office building. Number 3, how to evaluate the effectiveness of sorted roof design in a deep plan office building with the objective to evaluate the effectiveness of sorted roof design in a deep plan office building. Shah Alam is famous with being a textile hub. Textile merchants and boutique act like a one-stop center. However, they supply fabric and other than songket or batik. Thus, taking advantage of the central attraction in the area, I'm planning to complement this industry with supplying what's scarce there. Batik and songket supply offices together with commercial that will benefit the textile industry and the potential customers. Issues will be who am I designing for? Reviving a forgotten past, bringing batik into the modern context, the traditional textile heritage. And also there's a growing number of SMEs that are focusing on batik and songket industry in the area itself. Thus to take advantage of this, what is in need there. Program study, illumination level affect our eye-specific colors, low illuminance level rods in our eyes perceive greenish blue more than other colors, while high illuminance level cones in our eyes respond to green and red more. Important for color checking process at the offices. Light is very important, vary as space area. Different lux level will affect the receptor colors by our eyes. Those colors that I mentioned before are colors that are being used in batik and songket industry hugely. Thus, optimal illuminance level is very much important. At my proposed site, it can be seen that my site has a great exposure of west and east facade with direct sunlight. So thus to prevent direct sun from coming into my building while still maintaining a good daylighting into my building, thus to find a solution how to combat the issue. Next, the diagram shows the precipitation level at my area itself and how it shows a high amount of water happening in that space, in the place. Sorted roof has been said to cause leakage with bad construction. In order to prevent such issue, perhaps alternative like box cutter rainwater harvesting system can take advantage of the high amount of precipitation level and at the same time be able to solve the leakage issue that could potentially happen. The diagram shows the frequency of wind direction, wind speed on my side. So that's to take advantage of the wind direction, perhaps correlate with the research of the leeward sorted roof. Study of the shape or sorted roof of the opening can help for better ventilation. This research can help to understand that can help me to understand better and design my sorted roof not just catering to daylight performance, but also for building ventilation flow. My site is a commercial site with 1.7 acre with plot ratio 1 to 4, surrounded by a lot of commercial industry. Main entrance is facing the main road, second entrance is at the inner road of the opposite side. Third entrance is to reduce traffic flow, and according to bylaw, my building height has exceeded the need and requires 3/4 clear for space for fire brigade access. However, I'm inculcating the island approach to ease the flow in and out of the building, especially at the parking area in and out of the building itself. Sound pollution, noise pollution from the traffic congestion on the main road need to be curbed. This could affect employees' mood, perhaps to plant trees at the southeast as a noise barrier, and the north is surrounded by nature since the golf course that's to take advantage but put the offices facing the view itself. My site planning, so initially is to provide southern access towards the golf course where the view, to heighten the view And also to inculcate the batin and socket elements in terms of badan will become the main programs, and also kepala will sort of become the corridor that connects both of the programs together, become a connector. Next, from the simulation that I've gathered before, that I've done, which I'll be explaining later. So I have analyzed the issues that arise from it. So the problem will be the office space are underlit. Reason because I solely depend on sorted roof for daylight that is very much insufficient. So I'll look about there are three strategies that helps to combat the issue. So number one, shape. What are the configuration of curved facade that will provide better performance? Number two, windows. To provide windows on the west and east facade, which have not been tested before, and to test on different configuration of shading devices. And number three, we sorted roof. From the keys of the study, many openings will help to control and distribute daylight into the interior, and I have to consider water splash. Direct solar radiation, concave tree, and convex tree had the lowest daylight solar radiation on building facade in compared to other geometrical shapes. Both had horizontal cross-section of CSR of 0.58. And from the study itself, and also the window to wall ratio of 25%, then I go on with my simulation. And I studied upon the atrium, where atrium can help to distribute daylight into the building itself towards the adjacent spaces. So from the calculations that I made, I carry on with the calculation with my building simulation. So my initial design planning starts with a 10-meter distance of far edge of our standing for fabricated access, and atrium width of 9 meters using the study before, taking only office floors, that is 4 floors. The width of an axis, both end of the atrium is where the entrance is going to be, and with the register room, maximum the room the depth can go as to getting a good percentage is 50 meters from the study before. So from the study before, it shows how the curved facade can help to reduce direct sunlight. So I've curved both edges spacer following the atrium axis of the atrium for maximum room depth as guidance. So building shape directly able to provide optimal daylight in, side entrances to allow interaction with the next door building for future development. So through the simulation 1 is the basic modeling that I've tested, and simulation 2 is based on a study before with the 0.08 cross-section ratio, and as a simulation 3 I took upon the idea of 0.58, the cross-section ratio that has been recommended. However, all the three simulations do not provide a good better solution. Then I tested on CSR of 0.25, and it shows it has better performance. Simulation on the shading devices, I've tested on vertical louvers and horizontal louvers as a basic design, and the calculation of the angle of louvers is based on the calculation of the sun angle that I've studied and calculated, and from the study itself, it's been shown that simulation 2, where the angle of tilt louvers 0 degrees have better performance compared to other simulation. Then I study upon the sawtooth roof. The reason is that I look upon daylight strategies to combat the issues of direct sunlight. One of the strategies is top lit strategies, where optimal daylight is important when you are doing office work, and also when viewing textile or work textile that links with textile, especially color checking process at the workshops and also the offices and the gallery. Important in providing a healthy working environment. Upon my reading, solid atrium has been justified through my research that you have a great daylight into building with less glare and heat due to precision of the opening and prevent direct sunlight in. So design correlation, textile industry linked with the sawtooth roof for optimal lighting, be able to provide healthy working environment, prevent eye stress and optimum thermal comfort level. A general study of sawtooth roof design to help me to configure the appropriate design and configuration to be used in my design later. And I look upon precedents, the market line village where AMO in Thailand, where glass louvers to allow daylight in for the purpose of ventilation and also for daylighting in. Sawtooth roof is being placed at the retail area where the main activity is to eliminate spaces where it is very much important, like my office spaces. And box cutter for rainwater venting system between the sawtooth bay. And next, we factor in Forest P9 by Design Unit Architect, where they calculated the design the angle of sawtooth roof that will be able to provide distribution of diffuse light into the building, into the production floor. So the calculation that from the study itself, it helps me to build my design for sawtooth roof. Simulation 4, the simulation for sawtooth roof. The initial idea is based on the pyramid factory following the design shape that I've tested way before, following the general shape, and then from the general shape I'll look into the foot villa market design and also the foot villa market for Leeward sawtooth roof case, combining together. But all three do not provide a good better solution. Then I look into the atrium dimension relation to sawtooth roof, follows the pyramid factory, has better performance, not too overlaid like other spaces and underlaid like other spaces itself. My actuation will be still linked with the axis towards the golf course, and also the main entrance itself to provide connector with the future development, and terrace garden to give breathing space to the building and at the same time allow view over the golf course where employees can take a break there. The floor below has been recessed in to shade the open area below. Podium to allow employees and visitors to connect with the view over the golf course, allow break spaces for employees and visitors to unwind, and the podium acts as a connector between the commercials and the offices. So I've tested the shape itself and it has better performance than previous form that has been tested, although some spaces are overlaid, perhaps I need to introduce shading devices. So to reduce the negative space in the middle part of the building, two parts of the building has been lengthened to make space for more office spaces while still maintaining the cross-section ratio. And also pocket space and also to allow for ventilation, and those caves are intended to function as garden, provide break spaces to employees especially, and also the idea of opening is taken from the wind direction itself. And also the shading devices, from the idea of horizontal louvers to act as a shading devices, shape follow the shape of the building itself for better purposes. 3D detail and spotted axonometric. So I provided domestic tank and rainwater harvesting tank to make use of the abundance of rainwater, and also to make use of that for the green facade. And also this is the interior and also how the building looks like when it's been cut. And also this is the spotted axonometric that explains the first floor till the fifth floor, and also the sorted roof and also the ground floor. So the design of the sorted roof is being designed through the angle of the sun, and also that is to prevent direct sunlight in and only to allow the lighting into the building. And also why it's been designed such a way that it's been curved is to reduce water splash so that it can only go splash at the tip of the roof, and the smooth and curvy roof will help to reduce the water splash and flow the water to the gutter. The spaces between the sorties will become the gutter, and the 500mm gap from the base to the glass panel is to prevent any leakages like the environment factory in the Penang. So this shows the rainwater downpipe and also how the rainwater movement through the natural gutter, and this shows the main gutter that will provide, and where it will go to rainwater downpipe, and then it will go to rainwater harvesting tank, and then from the irrigation drip line that will distribute it to all the green facade. So alteration of sorted fruit is based on the design of the shape of the building itself and in correlate with the curved shape of the motif of bunga orchid is official flower of Shah Alam. And then this shows the sorted fruit structure that has been sort of like been built, and also yes. So hello, so this is my plan. So the main entrance is going to be at the main road at the Persiaran Kejaya, where people enter and they can go out, or they can go sort of like going to the parking basement area here, and they can go actually in the loop. The second entrance will be Jalan Kejaya, and also this will be the entrance for the offices, and this will be the entrance for the commercial. So this link with the plan itself, where the commercials are put it at the front, that acts as a buffer, that is to prevent noises from the main road, and also the offices at the back here, which only happens on the 4th, 5th, and 6th floor. But as of now, on this floor, they will be going to commercials, Batik and also Songket commercials area. Next will be the second floor, where this is all going to be all the gallery spaces, where this is going to be a gallery and people can go to the workshop and then they can go to the merchandise store. So it becomes sort of like a one loop where people can enjoy, and this will be the commercials area also for Songket and Batik boutiques. And for the third floor itself, this is where the office for a startup business is going to happen, and you have the outdoor garden for sort of like a break spaces and for a lot of ventilation flow. And this will be going to cafe and also be all the prayer spaces. And this will be going to be an office space for the anchor business. And on this floor, you can have the anchor business here, and take up the big spaces compared to the small areas for the startup business that requires 1 to 5 employees or 1 to 10. And for the anchor business, they have like sort of like a green area that have approach where they can have meeting area space there. They can view over the greenery as of like open area they can enjoy. And this goes up to the 4th, 5th, and 6th floor where they can have like a sort of like a break spaces here. And also they have the open plan office approach, that is to allow daylighting towards the middle part of the building, and also to prevent any sort of like underlit area spaces, and also it's a better approach for the tight spaces and for interactions better. And also fifth floor, that takes up on the same idea also. On the sixth floor is for the green area, and also for the office spaces, and also on the sixth floor here you can have the entertainment center where employees can send their children here whenever they are working. And on the basement floor, I take up on the idea of flat slab. Section